Oh, that might. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Can you hear me now? That's not. I don't know. I mean, it says it should be registering some. Oh, nice. You got your own little emotes. Okay, awesome. Nice. Do you want to hear the tunes too? Just jamming out? I can't even tell if you can hear them or not. Oh, nice. I was too busy focusing on you guys that he just scooped. Yeah, so you guys are my guinea pigs. So you have to tell me if anything is weird or like, oh, like the mouse is super loud or I'm just kind of curious in general. What the no, no, no. Maybe? The only question is, do we chop the copter for the crypt? So Romario, so it's kind of like weird because like Chandra can't protect herself as well. Like she goes to 1 to do so, and like her plus ability draws a card or exiles a card, which is worse for like trying to copter and stuff. It's just I don't know, it's just kind of weird, and I honestly haven't like jammed too many games like since coming to this list. So like I really just kind of want to like this is the list I'm comfortable with right now, and so I'm just hoping to. I'm just like really hoping to just like start getting some data. Keep just because like the past it's like what March now. Yeah, I've like barely. I've played maybe. I don't think I've played any leagues, and I would have only played. I don't know, like 4 challenges, but like I mean, I was like thinking about it the other day, and like the painter like new list, if you want to call it that, has really only been around for like a year now. Ooh, that's a pretty good draw. But what do we want to do? I think I'm gonna keep up double blast, and I hopefully won't have to blast because I think the only way we win this game right now is well, Canonist is pretty big. And I think I'm gonna tutor for that right now. Well, think I have to, yeah. Okay. Um, so yeah, I mean, like, we can even test out the walkers more. I mean, Chandra is better in, like, an ensnaring bridge build, or one that can protect ensnaring bridge more. Like the old top lists, like those, like we could find ensnaring bridge so easily, and then like top just helped ensure like you would find like the goblin loaders to. Oh wow. I didn't even see that. I thought it was Ether Sworn. Um. Okay. Just punting. I wasn't even focusing on what I was picking. I potentially should have just played it for goblins, but I don't know. Chandra's ultimate was just yeah. I clicked on explosives instead of canonist, but yeah, because he might just go off. Like I think I have to. I think I have to blast this just because I have to draw well now. Well, I mean I have Welder and Lotus Petal with EE as another mana. Was Brainstorm sorta locked? You know, his top card. But yeah, Chandra's ultimate was better with top, and like I just liked Karn because he just kind of does everything well, while also being like really fat. It's a really good draw. So Karn is kind of there just because I've just wanted to play him and get more games with him, and there's some random matchups where you're like, you know, I have so many bad cards and you decide board out. Like against like Death and Taxes, you know, a lot of times they'll take out like all your canonists, you know, the Blood Moon, you know, sometimes E-tutors. And so like sometimes if you don't have enough cards to board back in, like Karn's there. So I've kind of just kept him as 14 and 15. And then if you want to like go to a tournament and like have more dedicated hate, then those are like perfect spots. But we can talk more about like the list I'm on right or after this match, I guess. I'm playing really slow. But not as slow as blue players. So yeah, Blood Moon, like it used to be like a weird thing, like back with the top lists because we did board those out. Like I always felt like Blood Moon was better on the draw, just because the way they blow up. I mean, he knew about it though, but I have to. The good thing is I can still weld or grindstone myself and try to hit a canonist, or if he doesn't go off, I can hit painter. Blood Moon on the draw like prevents them from getting a bigger mana advantage through Vile compared to like being on the play. For your like if we're on the play, then we have the advantage because we have the soul lands that they have to like reactively wasteland, and so it's kind of like vice versa where like Blood Moon becomes better. I just don't know if it is right now, like in this meta. Like Death and Taxes with Copterus felt really easy, especially with like originally we were on like Pyroclasms, and now I just have two Sulfur Elementals, which I'm kind of surprised when I lose to it. That's true, yeah. My whole point is like I really don't think any Wasteland deck is really that bad of a matchup right now. I mean, you can argue like, to be honest, I haven't really had that much depth depths testing, but I don't know. Like even with Four Blood Moons, the Abrupt Decay version, like a couple years ago, that was still hard too. Like, I don't know if that's truly fixable if they have that much discard and decay on top of it. Lotus Petal. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm finding is like. So, okay, so I think we're gonna have to go for Canonist and try to hit it. We can wait for his payoff card though. I think he's probably sandbagging the LED. Because he can still respond to that nauseam. Yeah, we'll just wait. We could hit Tormod's Crypt too. Painter. So we win next turn. Well, he had the. So we had the Hercules recall. But we had the blast. So I mean, the Canonist probably did matter. Yeah, Grixis control is pretty hard. I've been trying to kind of fight them like miracles. Yeah, that's it. Okay. If you fight them like miracles, and you take out your petals and tutors. Like I've been bringing in like 2 surgicals, I think, because like if you can hit Kolagons, then that's obviously huge. All right, we just can't punt. Just can't punt. Turn 1 Canonist with protection. Keep. Some nerd I met. Depends on who you are then, I guess. So we just need to rip Painter off the top. As always. Alright. Well, you're one of what? We have like. Oh, damn. We got a solid 7 people. That just shows you it's like how long those Twitch emails have been saved. It's like, I don't even know the first time I started, probably like 5 years ago. I don't even know if like I've been so out of like I haven't been like following Legacy like enough to even know what like a normal ant sideboard looks like these days. Like, are they running any green? I have no idea. So like we just need to start like grinding the meta and like and just relearning Painter. Recall? No. 2 decay. Okay. So I assume it's like because they have to dodge Chalice, so I assume it's like a lot of Hercule's recall. TES might have like a meltdown or a pulverize. Yeah, miracles. What are you gonna do? Like I said, if all we have to do is just ban counterbalance, unban top, and the meta would. I mean, ideally you take Terminus too, but the meta would perfectly sort itself out like that if those changes were made. Oh, get rid of True Name too. That's another card on my list. Free top, man. Someday. Probably not. So here's the question, guys. Do we play the Recruiter, grab Painter, and cast Painter, but then that opens us up to being Hercule's recalled, and we just lose the game? Otherwise, if he doesn't cast that, then we have Blast, Petal, Painter, Canonist up on our turn, on his turn, which is essentially game over. Do we open up ourselves to recall when he's done absolutely nothing but ponder once this game? Did he shuffle? That's the other question. Choose to shuffle. Oh, these are the dilemmas. The other question is like, does it get better? My point is we lose to Hercule's recall. That's pain. I can't see this. Is that Painter? I mean, it's either like we win the game on his turn or we just straight lose the game to, like I said, Hercule's recall. We can't cast Pyroblast right now. But if he passes, it's game over. I mean, the best case scenario is he just brainstorms into fetch. Okay. So in that case, that's probably the best outcome because we wouldn't have been able to beat Fatal Push otherwise. And I figure like the only draw we're really hoping for next turn is like Painter instead of Recruiter. So we'll see what happens. We can beat a discard spell. So I mean, I kind of just want to wait for the payoff. Like he has too much mana to begin as it is. It's a good start. Dude, yeah, Dan, I saw Mario's emoji and I was like, or what do they call him? Emote? What does he have? I wonder if he has Past in Flames and his. Okay. This is actually good because he's gonna grab. He's gonna grab a discard spell, and he's not gonna get. They don't play therapy. Because he has to like he's probably semi-playing around the fact that I have a blast. He just doesn't know I have two. Because if I counter this, then he just wins anyway with Past in Flames. So we just have to counter Past in Flames. Or Ad Nauseam if he grabs that. What is that other one? Chalice? That's good. Kappa Ross, I like that. Right? He has to get like, he's gonna get like Thoughtseize. That's the only card that makes sense. Or Duress. Oh, he could grab a Painter removal spell. I didn't think about that. But it's true. Bounce Painter. I don't know if he has enough to go off Stormwise though after that. Because he's cast what? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is about to be the 5th spell. Past in Flames 6. Off of. So Past in Flames, he has 4 mana floating, independent of what he's going to grab. Which has to be. So let's say he has 3 red right now. So 4. So he has 3 mana. He can Dark Writ back up to 5 for Infernal Tutor. That doesn't kill me. You'd have to ponder off of. You'd have to Dark Writ to 5, ponder to going to 4, and then find another ritual. So bounce spell's a little too expensive, I think. I mean, sure, man. Yeah, that's what I figured. I figure like that getting Ad Nauseam plays around. I mean, I probably would have surgical a long time ago. I don't know, who knows. Then you always attack for the rub-ins. Just as simple as that, I guess. I mean, Ant should be like a pretty good matchup these days. Alright, let's see what you guys said. Dude, I know. Gosh, I can't. Yeah, they nerfed Doomsday so hard too. I actually like played. I messed around with a little bit of that. That was like 2013, just for fun. I just play some Doomsday, but like never in a tournament. Not not playing the new tech. Yeah, Dan. So that was the first round in forever. Um, so like I was reading through everyone talking about it, which is kind of what like inspired me to like want to hop back on and just talk about Painter. Um, this is what I've been on for the past while, probably like I'd say like 3 to 6 months or something. Um, and so I kind of just want to get more data on it because I haven't really done any serious testing. I just kind of like played a challenge like every two, like every other week or like every 3 weeks or something. Okay. So like I want to get around to testing it, but like I want to wait a little bit on that. Because I mean, also like I still think I don't know, Copter is like sneaky good. It's like you don't want it to be good, but it does do a lot. Interesting. Got some weird. What was he playing? Tarn Waste. Rug Delver. Probably just kill that dude right now. Cause like, so like I agree with like a lot of what everyone was saying. Like I can see how something like Light Up the Stage is good. Um, but my main issue with it is like I don't know what you're cutting. Like if you cut like a copter like for it, then all of a sudden you're removing like the fourth best way probably in your deck to deal damage, and then it also just like warps your like deck constraints a little bit. Like copter is like a good way to just like randomly beat Chalice. So then like then like if that's like already the case, then you can kind of slant away from needing like dedicated artifact removal, and you can run like this like the inferior crater maker, for example. That's like one thing I was like thinking about. um I don't know, like there's a lot of things like we can try out. Like I said, the deck is only a year old, more or less, since we like everyone started wanting to test it again. So like copter is just kind of like in unknown meta. You're basically playing like red white combo delver. It's kind of like bolt force, bolt daze. Oh, okay. So I don't know. Like, there's a lot of things to figure out, and at some point, like, probably not tonight, but one of my favorite things to do is just kind of like go through the deck and just kind of be like, what am I going to play no matter what? Like, what's like the most powerful card essentially? Usually I think Ancient Tomb, but maybe we can do that some other time. Stifle. Okay. This is a straight blast from the past. This is like, this is. Didn't this deck do something like recently? Okay, that's fine. You're dead on your next turn. This is like, I saw this somewhere. I can't remember. Yep, you got me. It already has. But we go for it, so. Well, we're gonna die regardless. But we name black. Oh, he drew the removal. What are you gonna do? Yeah, so Dan, like, like I was thinking too. It's like if you're gonna want to run like let's say you want to run copter and stage, like your natural thought would be like, oh, I can shave a copter, shave a tutor, because like those are like the card draw slots or whatever. But then all of a sudden, like your singleton blood moon, your singleton bridge get way worse, especially when we don't have top to go digging for it. So it's like it's this weird dynamic where it's like you don't really want to play copter, but it's like it's still like the best at what you kind of want right now. I don't know, like because like same argument for like light up the stage is like how much of that is still like faithless looting. It's like that's a really good card too. But it's like, oh, we want like Goblin Welder to be activated for it, so it's like, I don't know, like we can test it out. Yeah, it's like that blue-red list, but what do we want to cut here? Yeah, so like, I'd almost prefer like a deck run 4 Copter with 4 Stage and no white. Yeah, people inspired me. I figured I should get on and try. So let's see, what's good here? Cut one. Probably that. I mean, they might have some like Pithing Needle, but you don't play around that. Okay. Oh. Yo, like Romario and like damn, like how's like the volume? That's something I was gonna check out after. It's on the low side. Yeah, we'll figure that out later. It's probably because I'm talking softly too. Oh, he's got everything today. Top deck the interaction. Game 1. Oh well. I mean, we can always just draw a red source. Start coptering. Like, I don't know. Copter just beats in a surgical extraction a lot of times too. I mean, probably not this game because this is probably like one of the absolute worst matchups, especially if they're running surgical too. Like, you probably can't ever expect a painter not to get surgical. Yeah, so now we just kind of die. What a cool little dude. But what do you know? He's blue. Oh, third copter. Brainstorm. Sure. Yeah, it's probably so cheap. But, like I said, this is part of like figuring out the meta. Blue red burns big. But it's like, it's weird burn. Like, it's weird blue. Like, you know, like an explosive is like destroys him here. Fourth copter. Oh, this game's just done. I mean, I might as well just actually do that first. The most important thing though is like so I'm gonna start tracking my matches to see truly what's bad. Because I will say, like, right after Deathrite and Probe got banned, so we played Ant, played blue, red, Delver. So, like, probably from, like, right when Deathrite and Probe got banned to October is when I was playing the most, and then kind of just, like, fell off. It was, like, running super hot, like 70+%, probably like 75. And then, like, obviously lost some interest as Grixis control got huge, because that was just such a bad matchup. I was like, there's no point in really playing right now. And I don't feel like testing to figure out what truly beats them. But we are back. Yeah. We are 1-1. Beat Ant with many punts. Ooh, god damn. This is like the ultimate like new age test. It's like this is like this is so horrid. I think we just go Blood Moon. I think you're just. I think you're still supposed to do it, even though it's never really supposed to happen anymore. Come up. Like he's gonna drop like turn 1 Chalice. Like, or it's just fucking miracles, or it just doesn't matter. Longshanks, like not at all. Like Copter helps with, like Copter just beats like random crap, and like a lot of times you're just like, oh, I had a Delver. Like, what are you gonna do? Oh my god, this is like the same deck all over again. I might have to start metagaming for it right away. So Tournament Chalice used to be game over, because then our only out to it before was Explosives, because it locked out Top, Grindstone, Welder, Tutor, and like back when we were like super fast, we didn't have a like a recruitable artifact option a lot of the times. Like Jaya was like way old tech, and then that kind of like fell out of favor to just like being fast and being able to run like LED. But no, like with this current build, like Chalice sucks, but you know, as long as your hand is like Copters and Recruiters, you know, you just need one Copter, and then you just start looting away every single 1 mana card. Force Will? Nope. Dude, this deck is probably the most fun deck in Legacy. And the best deck in Legacy. Tier 1, as I like to say. So the other question is, if he's running that little bird dude, well, we'll see if he reveals anything. Probably won't, just so we can keep hitting for 1. But even with that bird dude, probably do want to just start milling him. Because the hope would be to find a petal, then we get to 0. A natural grindstone might actually be good. And I want to see. I want to see what this deck is too. Yeah, the key with like Shortcake is like you have to be willing to like step away. I feel like. I don't know. I've just been like kind of like thinking about it for like a long time instead of playing. More so just being annoyed with Top being gone, but like it still has its moments. And like I said, we need to like test more. That's the true. So how many people we got? Damn, dude, 10 viewers. That's insane. Paper snag. Oh, is this like really playable? Like, Romario probably. Like, someone told me about it, like what day it was, and I was like, oh, it's pretty far away. Probably not. Real piety, thanks, homie. Like, what a card. Getting my white card back in the deck. My hand, actually. He's probably like, thank you for hitting my cards for Terramander. Two rounds? So like it's just Vapor Snag meta. Like I don't know. Like it feels like Wizards takes most of their information, like for banning a card, from online results, where like time issues don't matter. Again, like Wizards doesn't care about paper legacy to begin with, so what's the point? No, Mario, I'm back in like Maryland, DC right now. Dude, how lucky was this basic island? How many basics do they run? Two? Like, damn. Or Mario, when is it? That's the other question. Two islands. Basic mountain, yeah. This Delver, man. So we're halfway through his deck, but he's gonna have a lot of burn spells. Well, we hit 3 bolts and a 4th bolt. So he has 1 more bolt at least. We hit a Lava Man. That's kind of big. Chain Lightning is, oh my god. Oh, Blood Moon. Kill me, man. Easter weekend. I'll think about it. How about that? What do you guys think? Do we draw the 3rd Canonist right here? Like rather than like a Recruiter, Welder, Blast, Land, not Land, Pedal. Oh, I'm so bad. I forgot to mill him. So let's see if we can bait him here. he might flip his Delver, and then we can blast. We can blast, hopefully, like a blue spell on his turn, like ponder main phase, and then it'll be under bridge. Oh, ponder, man, right there. Just put me out of my misery. If this deck becomes huge, then I would argue going back to Pyroclasms. Because like Pyroclasm already is like really good to begin with. All right, this is just over. Oh. That's good, that's good. There's nothing good. These are good. So then we just stay like this. Yeah, let's do that. Romario, are you playing tonight? Or how often do you stream? New plug, dude. I like the sound of that. Like another thing is, I feel like people aren't willing to like dedicate to brewing anymore. I don't know if that's like a price issue or like an interest issue or just like the prevalence of something like Reddit being like, yo, like this deck is like the cheapest and best. Maybe it's also just because cheaper decks have gotten way better than they used to be. And that's probably because like green isn't part of the meta anymore and Tarmogoyf like is dead. That's probably actually a big part because then you don't need Trops and Bayous. And Deathrite obviously made it so that you had to be playing Underground Sea. So I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Pretty much, yeah. Cause like, yeah, like the recognition and like consistent tournament results have like precluded like a lot of like random testing or like wanting to like get reps in with a deck like Plug. Cause like no one plays like junk anymore. Which there we go. So here is the other question. Like, you know he's packing. Like, we can just... Actually, let's just jam Recruiter. Yeah, like getting reps with like brainstorm is like, probably like the highest on the priority list. Which is sad because like a lot of times if you know your fringe matchup, you smash. Agent Crush. Oh my god. Oh. Wow. So homie, carrying. So actually, how's the stream looking? Nice. Okay. And the wasteland and the lava man. Damn. It's just like not a good matchup at all. Stifle. I will say though, I do miss the like stack wars over like trying to like resolve a fetch land. Like that like takes you back to like those like true Rug Delver days. Where like it's like coming down to like the last card. Like he might like just daze here and it's just like I'm out. Yeah, this is some OG shit right here. Pretty much, but I mean, they had the basic island game one, but what are you gonna do? I mean, we went for the Blood Moon play. It did not pan out. Whatever. Make him grudge this grindstone again. And I think we don't really care about him grudging this grindstone either, because like this is gonna have to be won by like sticking a painter against a lot of bolts. So like if you want to classify it as Delver, like my favorite is actually Infect. And I've been wanting to learn that more. It's like Delver-esque, it's just the fastest of them. She has force blue card. Nope. Yep. Okay. Oh, I still don't think we can win. But we gonna try. So like my vintage knowledge is actually like really low. Because I basically paid attention from it from like probably like May 2015 Mm, yeah, probably like the beginning of summer 2015 to like summer 2017. So like that 2 year stretch. So like basically it was like right. I think Lodestone was unrestricted when I started. Okay, so what do I want to do here? Because he has Force Blue. Obviously can paint her now. So I think we just shoot the Delver. Well, actually let's shoot the Lava Man. Tog plus Berserk. So yeah, Vintage is like I don't know. Vintage is just weird right now. I haven't played in a long time, and I don't really have any interest in like relearning it because like Outcome is just really dumb. Targeting me, okay. Do you think he has the Force Bolt blowout? That's the other question. I mean, it's like after Vintage, like old schools. Sorry, fucking kidding. Oh. So it looks like we kind of need Pyroclasm now. Maybe Whip Flare, actually. Whip Flare would probably be way better. Why would he let his... Why would he not just force the... But was he too afraid of his, like... Of like me having combo, I guess? Versus his Lavamancer living? Yeah, Longshank's like... The way I'm looking at it is like... Basically, like, old school is, people are willing to travel for it. And it's just like, yeah, I'll play like once every like 3 months or like once every 6 months, but like it'll be like a dedicated event and it'll be like pretty cool. I mean, I'm also lucky because like right here in Maryland, like there's a shop that's like been trying to throw like super dope events. Yeah, Romario, I feel you. Like, there's a lot of crazy stuff. Like, I was actually, so I have 3 pieces of power right now, but I was kind of lucky that like, I only had to buy one of them because like um that Baltimore event that I played with Dredge. So like I got store credit for that, and it was basically enough. So Dice City carry-in, but so like that Star City event, I got a Mox Pearl from them for that store credit, and then I actually was able to like trade a bunch of like modern staples and like legacy stuff for a jet. So I was like pretty boosted about that. Dude, I know the collector's edition is like it's crazy up there now, but Yeah, clutch. That's basically. It's pretty much the exact thing I was just talking about. Because like the thing is like vintage right now is like you're playing broken stuff to resolve even more busted stuff. Like for old school, at least the broken stuff is like the power and the mana, and that's like you're only worrying about like a Josm like being powered out. Like I don't know, like you're not powering out like super OP stuff. Oof, this hand's like not good. This is like a classic painter hand. It's like it'll either look like ridiculously OP, if you rip well, or you just horrendously lose the game. But that's like the nature of the high variance decks. You just gotta roll with it. But like the problem is like legacy is almost like too like there's too many cards where yeah, he might. I don't think he would duress me, but double basic? What is this garbage? Like I honestly think like if I was in charge of legacy ban list, it'd be so much better. That'll just be like my rant that I always do. Just because like it's like we used to have top like is it a Phoenix deck? I guess so. What an insane faithless looting. I don't even think Emrakul is really a problem. Like Gristlebrand is probably the bigger deal. But what are you gonna do? GG. I don't even know how to board. So let's see, what do we need? Blood Moon is horrible. Blood Moon. Canist is very good. It's like there's this like weird subset of like, do we even want those cards? Like, do we want those Priest? Like this feels so bad to want to board this in. Like it can crew Copter. I feel like Surgical isn't. Like I don't know. I played against this. I played against the Grixis one on Sunday. And that was my first ever match against it. Because like these like Bridge is probably the best, but then he's still got Pyroman. Probably don't want this. Like, these are really good. Let's just slow everything down. That's fine. No idea. Maybe just a 7th blast. I feel like we've gotten unlucky a lot too tonight. I mean, Grixis Phoenix is going to be exactly like Grixis Delver. Like, you know, it'll be like a flash in the pan. You know, people will, like, be able to prepare for it. So no, yeah, I normally would have just played that plateau, but for information, I just want to conceal it. He doesn't know what that card is. Because, I mean, like, it's just like a good value engine, right? It's just like you're playing Dark right into Buried Alive. Like he doesn't win the game. Like, that's completely fine. It almost feels like what I want to do here. Double Arclight. We can't bring him back. Okay, I almost just want to get Copter online first. And especially if this deck is going to be big too. Like, I think Candace gets a lot more stock as well. Right? Because Phoenix will never trigger. Okay, now we just lose. Yeah, I can't tap. I should have thought about that. What is... let's see. Okay. It's completely fine. Rip that bridge. So let us set up Welder. I think I want the, well, yeah. Because if we draw Painter, we can just win. Second Copter. Nah. So he's gonna start flashing back looting. Do we think he has... I'd rather get Canis and play now. I think. That could be wrong, but I feel like being greedy compared to just holding up welder protection for the bridge. Priest. That's very interesting. So now... Oh, I think we took out... How do you look at your sideboard? View sideboard. Great. Goblin Warchief definitely has. Oh, this is game one. Is this game one? This is game two. I'm an idiot. So we have Crater Maker in here. So dumb. No one light up the stage yet. I'm just playing what I've been like comfortable with for a little bit. Like I want to get some data and like see what the meta is like first, because I haven't really played seriously at all in the past couple months. I mean, do I just cast this? Like, here's a therapy, but yeah, let's just do it. Why not? Yeah, I'm so yeah. I'm just not paying attention. So like the difference here is like Sensei's Divining Top just like dominates this game compared to Copter. So we should draw a Recruiter and get Crater Maker first. And not draw a third Grindstone. Oh, I'm so bad. I'm just like not even paying attention. Like, cause he's just gonna swing his 1/1s at me. Like, this is just like how bad I am. So that's the other thing. Like, I can't really be testing out new cards if I'm just like horrible at the game to begin with right now. So I would, except his Pithing Needle is on Grindstone right now. So we're a bunch of different steps away. Except first is we need to get, because I don't think there's no other artifact. So like I said, we have to, ooh, that's not a good draw. But I assume he will swing with his spirits though. So we can at least get a block. Canonist. Yes, sir. So this brings me back, man. Just the Ensnaring Bridge Wars. Like when we went like an Ensnaring Bridge main deck, that was such a big move. And it gave us game against so many like random matchups. Because like all of a sudden like Delver decks couldn't beat it. Sneak and Show like still can't beat it. Unless they're playing Cunning Wish. Yeah, Chandra with Bridge was something else. True, true. Yeah, the Days of Koth being good. Like when you like, actually get the ultimate in like a real game and it just like takes over. So we need Painter right now. E-Tutor. So here's the problem, like Creator Maker is probably like our best out, but if we grab Painter, oh, I don't even know. It was Jam Painter out there. If we live, nah, because Pithing Needle's on Grindstone, so like I can't hold the Pyroblast because otherwise I would. Well, so Painter, so E-Tutor, tank, 4 hits. Painter. Ooh, I'd be 1 mana short of being able to kill him with yeah. I wouldn't have been able to blast kill him. Unless I... Yeah, I didn't. I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm like really bad right now and rusty. So we have a lot to learn and like remember. But yeah, that's a good point though. Because I would have tanked a hit from these guys to 1. Drawn Painter, played off like Mountains, Blast Needle, 2 mana, win next turn. Draw Blast right now? No. But yeah, that's a good point. That was probably a better line. So I guess he just, yeah, it probably would have won the game already. I was just like, I felt like going to 1 was too risky, or I don't know. I think I have Spyglass. Wow. So we have 7 in the deck right now. So we have 5 left. Does he name Welder, or does he double down on Grindstone is the question. Double Grindstone. Oh, man. The thing is, Recruiter is not an out to this. Because I don't have Artifact Hate right now. Because Crater Maker. So really it's just like, we wait for Double Blast. We really just Recruiter for a Welder. Yeah, Crater Maker doesn't work though if you have Painter out. Like, that's the issue with it. Which is like, you know, a lot of people have been like, oh, I want Vandal or like Heretic. I just brought him in because I was like, oh, it can answer like 1 Young Pyromancer if it's like the early game. There's Blast number 1. So he's like literally just thinning his deck so that he can draw his like second Abrade or something faster. mean, at least that's what I assume. Welcome to Legacy, guys. We get there. We get there. Okay, so what do we want to do now? She has 2 artifacts and like 2 braids, it seems. Hedge Mage. Yeah, we probably want it over Crater Maker. I'm not gonna run both. Like that. I mean, the real question is, do we want to run like a surgical now? Carrying, like, it happens actually like a lot. Like, I mean, like sometimes you can even like game a omniscience player, or like sometimes like it kills a sneak attack. I don't know. Because how we need to win by combo. I feel like Copter's not gonna really help. Let's do the 1. Should we even want Copter at all? Probably not. Two years. Like, but the thing is that like, in 2 years, has it been worse than Manic Vandal? That's the other question. Because like a lot of times you can't even play Manic Vandal because you have to destroy the artifact. No, this is fine. So like as long as Hedge Mage is always like pretty good Vandal impression, then it's like worth playing it. Like Vandal's really good. And a lot of times when you're like, I'm on a Great Furnace Ancient Tomb draw, you're like, wow, this is like super lucky that I don't have Hedge Mage. But like on the whole, I don't know, I've just liked Hedge Mage a little bit more. Wow, what a nice draw. I can't remember if he was on Wasteland, but I'm not gonna risk it. Exactly, yeah. I mean, I do think there have been some games where, Hedge Mage was like a turn or two too slow compared to what Vandal would have been. But, I mean, I think like I mean, the biggest upside, honestly, is like you bring in Hedge Mage against Miracles and you hit a counterbalance. So I think that alone makes it worth it. Carrie, are you playing 3 Plateaus also? Like, because like 3 Plateau was only till recently because we went down to 1 Blood Moon. But like, having 3, I feel like anytime I've wanted to bring in. So here's the other question. Wow, that's really nice. Oh, so do we surgical his lingering souls? So the problem is like, if we surgical, because now this doesn't matter. The thing is, if he is buried alive, we have 1 draw left. Otherwise, we have like 5 turns. Which I think I'm okay with. Oh, no, this is pretty close, actually. What do you guys want to do? I'll leave it up to you guys. Because I really have no idea. That's what I'm leaning towards. Alright, we'll just leave it then. If he actually flashes back, like, I'm actually okay with that. Why would you do it this way? But the thing is, I don't even care if he takes the surgical, I think. Because then it lets me. Because, like, he's gonna get his things regardless, right? So then, if I let him force him to take the surgical, he's not gonna flashback lingering souls. He wants to, like. I feel like he wants to dark rid off this. Buried alive. With the nut hand would be what? Dark rid, buried alive, lightning bolt? I mean, if I let him just Thoughtseize, it does beat that. But then if he takes that, I kind of want to see what's going on. Like, this probably does put me on 1 turn clock. Oh, he's nothing. So why? Beyond me. Two of braids. 2 commands. 1 bolt, 1 needle, 2 pyroblast. Okay. Very strange. But he does have the push. Yeah, pretty much. You always gotta love it though. Like people always try to get you. So actually, what I could be doing, I could be. Well, actually, I'll do it with this mountain. I'm not gonna do it off Ancient Tomb, but I can start grinding myself so that if I do hit. Bridger Painter, I can blow that up. What are my outs here? Painter isn't an out. Bridge is. If Bridge is in my yard, Crater Maker is. Explosives is. So I think we grindstone ourselves. Oh, 3 back to back to back. Yeah, so like my whole point, Mario, is like if I grindstone myself and I hit something I want, right? And let's say I hit Bridge, and then I draw Crater Maker, or I have Hedge Mage. Well, yeah, true. He does have push. You know, he's probably saving that more for. I don't know. Like if I had drawn something else better with that card, then I could technically play around one push, but not here. Oh well. I don't know. I'm just talking. So yeah, you know, great showing. I'll show you guys the list that we can dissect more later. But this is what it is right now. So that was. I have to add a new. I bet a good mono red list could be put together. Like, I really just think you should be playing 4 copter. Like you could probably go 4 copter, 4 stage, and that'd be like a massive draw engine. I mean, yeah, you'd have to run like, so like the old list would run like. I could probably just even put together a. You'd have to run like thorns in the side again, or you could even run. Well, no, damping sphere is bad for your ancient tombs, right? So you have to run thorns in the side, and you're leaning on Blood Moon again. You're probably running like. You can even run like 4 Magus, 4 Copter. You know, you have like 2 Ballistas. Like, I mean, mono red lists are always weird because, like, I mean, Copter's probably the best thing you could do. But do you want welders then? I don't know. You're just like fighting different stuff, really. Because like with this list, I'm basically like I want to fight unfair decks and like the big blue decks. And I'm saying like anything else, that isn't like Miracle Show and Tell, Graveyard, or like, Shadow, Snapcaster decks. Like that's like the main, and the, sort of splash of Death and Taxes hate because of Sulfur. But it's really like their fermenter. So it's kind of like those. Those are what I'm choosing to fight. And everything else I'm hoping that like Copter Beats and like, random, like this package right here is like good enough to like sneak game ones. So yeah, Blackwood Reanimator is a really bad matchup game one. But I mean I think my sideboard's like probably the best you could hope for against it. So I mean that's the big difference. It's like how much do you just want to punt? Like how much do you just want to punt Blackguard Reanimator? If you don't care about that, then you only really need like 2 surgicals. Yeah, I mean, the problem, well, if this blue-red Delver deck is huge, then Blood Moon's so bad against them. Like, no Delver deck really exists anymore that's like full duels, I feel like. I don't ever see, or like, or like, there's no like Bug Delver. Is there? Is there? I don't know. Like, I don't really ever see Rug. It's always like Grixis. And even in that one, I think they run like a basic or two. I don't know. Exactly. So that's why we're only on one. A lot of times you can like steal a game just having the one. Like the second Blood Moon is just in there because I've wanted like a backup one against like Death stacks, and like it's still not bad to like bring it in and like increase your chances. Yeah, back to basics is pretty good. I mean, it's actually funny because like it actually like is a house against Shortcake because we only have 3 mountains. So yeah. Miracles will never die. Like the shell is too entrenched now. Like you have Brainstorm, Ponder, Swords, Snapcaster, Terminus, Force of Will. Like right there, that shell like destroys every single creature deck, no matter what. And then you just fill it out with whatever you need to like hate on the meta. Because I mean, you have to remember, actually, so they have like the best, broadest hate also, because they get Council's Judgment. And the best creature, because they have Mentor. So. Goblins, yeah. Yeah, that's a throwback. But anyway, I'm gonna hop off. We'll probably just like stream like a random league every now and then. I feel like that's probably the best way to just get back into it. So for you guys are the new inaugural group. So thanks for keeping me company. And yeah, we'll we'll do better than 1 and 3 next time, hopefully. But peace.